Okay, so I get a lot of questions about the brain personality assessment and why is it that I even came up with creating it, or did I become such a brain geek in the first place? I get that all the time. So I thought I'd just do a real quick video to explain it for those of you who haven't heard me speak or who haven't been introduced. The main reason why I became so enthralled and excited about the brain as a whole goes back into my early 30s. And in my early 30s, I was studying actually for a degree in natural health. So it originally didn't have anything to do with the brain. But one of the courses that I took was on psychoneuroimmunology, which is this big, long word that just is the connection between the thoughts in your mind, how that changes or can adjust the chemistry in your brain, and then how that in turn affects your immune system, either positive or negative based on whether or not your thought process is positive or negative. And so I really started I was fascinated that neuroscientists could actually measure the increase or decrease in or change in neurochemistry, or change, I should say, in the immune system based on the change in the neurochemistry, based on the change in your thought patterns. And it just fascinated me. So I was like, man, what else can the brain, or can brain researchers help us to know about the functioning of our brain that then leads into how we can improve our personal lives or our relationships or our sales or our business or whatever you want to apply it to. And that kind of sent me down the the rabbit hole of studying the brain. And over the years, I've read, dozens of books, actually into the over 100 books, or all or parts of, just digesting information from the neuroscientists on how can we apply this information to be a better leader in our corporate lives, to be a better team member in our career, to achieve more sales in our business, to understand relationships and ourselves better by understanding what I call the brain personality connection. So that's kind of where I started. And then from there, I went on to understand the power or the strengths in your brain and your natural DNA brain code, as I like to call it. And then went from different personality assessments that I was working with and utilizing in my business to actually creating my own, because I found these other ones slightly lacking. Like there was always something missing. They covered part of the brain or part of the personality, but they didn't cover all the facets, the 5 facets, that I call, of the brain personality connection. 4 of those, which are actually coded in your DNA. They're kind of part of your brain wiring from conception. But then the 5th is that nurture. It's your who raised you, how you were raised, all of the influences on you as you were growing up. So that's the 5th. And then it also, these other ones, they not only did they not take into consideration all 4 of the brain DNA codes, but they wouldn't overlap your birth order or your nurture. And they also did not include in it your emotional tone, which is very critical, because if you are having, which takes me all the way back to my roots, right? If you're having a lot of negative emotions, if you're under a lot of stress, and it's because you're not utilizing your brain and connected to your brain personality connection, honoring your brain DNA code, living authentically connected to that, if that's where the stress source is, then your emotional tone is going to be low. It's going to affect your immune system, and you're not going to be as happy and healthy, right? So that's where it all kind of came together for me. And that's why I created the brain personality connection assessment, because I wanted to have something that I could use that would cover all 6 points: your introversion, extroversion, ambiversion level, your sensory modality, communication style, learning style, whatever you want to call that, auditory, visual, kinesthetic, the difference in the gender, in the brain gender. If the Y chromosome is present, that brain gets a chemical bath at 6 weeks gestation that changes the brain on average in 12 main areas. Your brain quadrant dominance. Which of the 4 quadrants do you spend the least amount of energy to work out of? Your nurture, who raised you, how you were raised, societal expectations, things you were rewarded for, things you were shamed for, and that emotional tone. So that's why I created the brain personality connection assessment, because it has all 6 of those facets in it. So that's the answer to the question when a lot of people ask me, why did you create it, or how did you become so fascinated with the brain? And that's the background of it. So I hope that helps. I hope people, I hope for you that answers some questions. If you want to take the assessment, brainpersonalityassessment.com. Great assessment. You'll understand 37-page full color report that you get that covers all 6 of those. But that's how I came up with it. All right, thanks. We will see you on the other side after you've taken the assessment.